Dawn settles over New York, clear blue sky above, leaves whisper, taxis streak below, twin towers gleam peacefully. On the 93rd floor, a focused analyst sips coffee, eyes fixed on rising numbers and endless sky. Below, a bright lobby hums as a young receptionist arranges visitor badges, greeting passing crowds with calm morning energy. Without warning, a low jet roars into the tower, fireball explodes, glass bursts outward, street gasps, normality shatters. Inside, smoke coils, alarms wail, corridors fill with coughing workers, one man shields a colleague as debris rains. On the street, people freeze, eyes lifted, phones shaking, reporters arrive, helicopters circle, flames rage high above bewildered faces. A second jet screams across the sky and strikes the sister tower, explosion erupts, terror surges, crowds scatter in realization. High above, a trembling man clutches phone, tears fall as he pleads to loved ones, smoke curls around flickering lights. If this story has you hooked, just wait for what's coming next. Make sure to follow our channel so you don't miss any of the amazing stories we've got coming your way. Elsewhere, a young woman coated in ash whispers apology into her phone, clutching family photo, panic widening in smoky corridor. First responders storm stairwells, gear clanging, one reaches through darkness, grabs a shaking hand, guides a stranger toward hope. Above them, exhausted crews push upward, smoke thick, walls trembling, a fallen comrade is lifted, resolve outweighs fear. A gloved hand quivers on metal rail, radio crackles with urgency, eyes strain through heat, yet he climbs. Outside, the South Tower ripples, then implodes. Thunder's collapse unleashes a rolling wall of dust that swallows streets. Gray storm engulfs fleeing crowds, coughs and cries echo, a mother shields her baby, a stranger steadies an elder. Amid silent haze, a lone firefighter searches, boots crunching on debris that drifts like snow, city muted in grief. On upper floors, survivors huddle near walls, whispering love through phones, holding hands as heat presses inward.
I love you.
Below, shouts mix with sirens, names are screamed, a desperate sign lifts above the crowd, Manhattan feels like war. A deep rumble builds, the remaining tower folds on itself, new cloud surges, people sprint, day becomes night again. Silence follows, skyline broken, emergency lights flicker within smoke, onlookers kneel, disbelief settling like dust-heavy grief. One exhausted firefighter sits on curb, helmet in hands, ash streaks tears while companions dig behind him. Rescuers claw through smoldering rubble, shovels scrape, ears strain for faint voices, hope and despair wrestle in every breath. Volunteers pour in with water, masks, food, hugs, trucks unload aid, chaos given purpose by shared humanity. Beside a crushed engine, weary firefighters gulp sandwiches, one studies a worn photo, wipes eyes, rises, returns to work. Televisions across continents replay flames, anchors falter, distant crowds gather around screens, united by horror they cannot touch. In sterile hallways, families wait, prayers whispered, phones clutched, a nurse delivers news, grief erupts like sudden storm. On a growing wall, faces smile from flyers, candles flicker below, each pin a heartbeat asking to be found. Days later, smoke still rises, a rescuer lifts a scorched toy, pauses, places it gently, honor and gesture. Survivors stand shoulder to shoulder before ruins, borrowed jackets and flags clutched, wind carries only sirens and memory. Nationwide lines form, blood donated, hugs exchanged, search dogs watered, nurses treat soot-caked skin, unity blossoms amid loss. Night falls on candlelit crowd, names read into hush, tears shimmer, flags wave slowly, sorrow binds souls together. A former stockbroker trembling shares her story before photos of colleagues, audience nods through tears, communal strength grows. Elsewhere, a businessman steps outside, loosens tie, drops it, turns toward volunteer center, a quiet vow to rebuild better. Around a kitchen table, a family lights a candle beside framed memories, grief mingles with unwavering love. In a classroom, children draw towers wrapped in hearts, teacher embraces artist, three simple words read never forget. At ground zero, sparks fly as steel rises, workers shout instructions, sign proclaims we will rise, determination rings loud. Memory flashes from proud towers to empty sky, then to newborn structure, silence turns to heartbeat of rebirth. Airports change forever, passengers queue for new checks, machines beat, a child clutching bear looks to worried mother. In subways and arenas, glances linger, shoulders tense, memory shadows every crowd, innocence replaced by cautious awareness. At military honors, flags fold into careful triangles, trumpet sings taps, tears trace cheeks of families receiving sacred cloth. A teenager studies history of the day. Beside him, his scarred firefighter father sits. Silent understanding passes between generations. In a therapy circle, survivors speak. Tears fall, hands clasped, words on board promise growth beyond trauma. Faces of every age meet the camera, names appear, piano murmurs, collective portrait honors the lost. On a city wall, artists paint towers ringed by stars, children add colors, the message never forgotten blooms brightly. At the memorial, a woman lays rose on engraved name, whispers softly, water reflects her silent devotion. Months blur and time-lapse, rubble clears, cranes swing, foundations pour through rain and snow, skyline slowly finds new shape. During a ceremony, first responders stand firm, bell tolls once, collective silence spreads like sacred hush. In a modest home, a mother lights candle beside photo, children lean close, honoring love that still guides. Life continues, playground laughter, wedding vows, traffic kindness, humanity moves forward carrying invisible weight of memory. At a podium, a speaker proclaims, we lost buildings but never soul. Applause rises from survivors and families. From cracked pavement, a green shoot emerges, fragile yet defiant, proof that life insists on rising. A soldier kneels at metal wall, fingertips trace a name, reflection merges with memory, silent vow held within eyes. Steel beams climb skyward, weld sparks cascade, workers secure bolts, new tower ascends, hope materializes floor by floor.
We lost
Flags
buildings,
flutter on balconies,
but we didn't
students
lose
pledge
each other.
allegiance, firehouses polish memorial plaques, across homes families embrace, unity stands unbroken. In a bedroom, a boy lowers oversized helmet onto his head, mirror shows legacy resting on small shoulders. Night sky splits with twin beams, candles flicker below, gathered crowd holds breath, light carries souls toward stars. At the memorial pool, one man traces letters, whispers we are still here, water flows, resolve glistens in his gaze. A teacher tells students it is not what fell that defines us but what stood, young minds absorb resilience. Old veteran salutes during anthem, tears flow, nearby boy mirrors gesture, generations bound by shared reverence. A visitor brushes hand along twisted steel inside museum, closes eyes, breathes memory into present moment. Planes fly overhead, firefighters train, strangers lift others during disasters, scars remain, yet compassion moves stronger through our veins. At sunrise, quiet street displays flags and windows, a jogger passes, city breathes steady, resilience settled into rhythm.
It's not
Tourists
what
stand at
fell
ground
that
zero,
defines
guide
us,
speaks softly, tears
but
wiped
what
away,
stood.
reverence drapes the air like velvet. A survivor writes in notebook, I remember dust silence kindness, closes cover, exhales, burden acknowledged but not surrendered. Time passes in flowing seasons across Memorial Plaza, leaves fall, snow settles, blossoms return, memory roots remain unshaken. Veteran firefighter instructs recruits before photos of fallen, room silent, respect and responsibility settle on new shoulders. At the pool, a parent kneels beside child explaining the day gently, truth offered with tender strength. An artist paints hands pulling others from rubble, words courage unity humanity drip in vivid color, emotion saturates wall. A veteran stands at reflecting pool, eyes closed, remembers running that morning, whispers we endured, time gives perspective. Montage of smiling faces, glowing candles, intertwined hands, grief huge yet love larger, shared humanity fills the screen. Camera lifts above night memorial, twin beams pierce sky, words appear we remember we rebuild we rise, fade to black. A woman types her story choosing to stand even when all fell, resolve glows in the rhythm of keys. Hands light candle after candle, flames multiply, marble mirrors their glow, each fire a voice kept alive. A child imagines the towers as tall trees under stars, points upward saying they are still here, innocence heals. Across oceans people hold signs we stand with you, candles flicker, tears fall, humanity transcends borders.
This is where your father was.
A mother walks with teenage son at memorial, softly says this is where your father was last seen, legacy ways. Slow motion flag rises before rebuilt skyline, sun glints on glass, hope unfurls in red white blue. Voice reminds
were
that
not
when
just
everything
reactions.
collapses one can rise,
They were
light enters
decisions
dark
to
room,
act,
seated figure stands
to
toward new
protect,
dawn.
to love.
Images show survivors pulled from debris, ash masks faces yet eyes burn with will to continue walking forward. Firefighters charge into smoke, a mother shields child, a nurse tends wounds, every gesture a deliberate choice to fight. Camera drifts into bright sky, words emerge what fell was steel, what stood was us, music swells, light expands. Water reflects ghostly towers, breeze ripples surface then stills, image remains and final truth declares no one will bring us down.